All right. So I originally made a longer video for this, but I realized that you're also doing the Unit 1 packet. So I'm going to shorten the video here just so you have more time to do the packet as well. So we're going to be on page 22. We're going to try a few of these problems. We're not going to do them all, and we'll see how this goes. So we're just going to continue to practice dividing decimals by decimals. We're going to do 4 problems on the front, 2 on the back, and then you can work on the review packet if you haven't done that yet. So for this problem, we're going to put 52 in the dividend end. That's the dividend. And we're going to divide by 4/10. Okay. Now this number the divisor has to be a whole number. So we're going to move the decimal point once. And if we move the decimal point once for the divisor, we have to do it for the dividend. So because 52 doesn't have a decimal point, we'll put it in right after the 52 and move it once. So now we've created this problem, 520 divided by 4, which is going to give us the same quotient, the same answer as 52 divided by 4/10. 4 goes into 5 once. 1 times 4 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring down the 2. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. Bring down the 0. 4 goes into 0 0 times. And 0 times 4, believe it or not, is 0. So you get an answer of 130. So that's also the same answer as the original problem. We just changed it to make it easier. Same answer. All right, let's try this one right next to it. We have 9 thousandths divided by 18 hundredths. So even though 9 thousandths has the lesser value, we're going to put that in the dividend end because it came first in this math sentence here. So we got to make sure that this number here is a whole number. So we're going to move the decimal point twice, 1, 2. And then we'll have to move the decimal point twice in this number, 1, 2. Okay, then we're going to rewrite it because we don't want to deal with all those bumps. So that becomes 18, and this number becomes 9/10. So I took away some of those extra zeros that we didn't need. And let's divide. 18 goes into 0, 0 times. 18 goes into 9, also 0 times. So in order to keep dividing, we're going to annex a 0 next to the 9, and it's going to be 90. 18 goes into 90. Let me think. This is close to 20, so like 20 times 4 is 80, which is a little low. Let's try 5. 18 times 5. It's always good to do the work off to the side, of course. 8 times 5 is 40. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. All right, 90. So 5 worked. We're going to put that 5 in the quotient. 5 times 18, we just found out, is 90. And 90 minus 90 is 0. Last step, of course, we have to bring up that decimal point. So the answer, again, to the original problem is 500. Same answer, only this one was a little easier to do. Okay, let's try another here. 11 and 2/10 divided by 7 hundredths. Okay, well, I'm going to move that decimal point twice because we got to make sure we get a whole number here, and then we'll have to move it twice in this number as well. So we get a vacancy here, like an empty space. We're going to put a 0 here to fill that. So the number inside the dividend is 1,120. We're going to divide by 7. Let's see what happens. 7 goes into 1, 0 times. 7 goes into 11 once. 1 times 7 is 7. 11 minus 4 would be 4. Bring down the 2. 7 goes into 42 6 times. 6 times 7 is 42. 42 minus 42 is 0. Bring down the 0. 7 goes into 0, 0 times. 7 times 0 is 0, and 0 minus 0 is 0. So again, the original one, the answer was 160. All right, we're gonna try one more on this page. Of course, you could, I mean, if you wanted to do the this one or this one, that's fine too. If you want to try those out, but this is the last one you need to do, just because something happens here that doesn't happen in the other ones necessarily. We're going to put the 6 and 2400ths in the dividend end, divide by 200. Again, it's okay that the lesser number is in the dividend end. It's fine. So here's the thing. We don't have to move the decimal point because I just need to make sure that the divisor is a whole number, and it is. So it's okay if the dividend has a decimal. We just can't have this be a decimal. So we're good here. We don't have to move anything. We can just divide. 200 goes into 6, 0 times. 200 goes into 62, 0 times. 200 goes into 624. It would be 3 times because 3 times 200 is 600. So you subtract those, you get 24. Now at this point, it seems like we can't divide. However, we can annex a 0 at the end of 6 and 2400ths and bring it down. The reason we can do that is that annexing a 0 here does not change the value. Still the same value, it's just that we can now divide more. 200 goes into 240 once. 1 times 200 is 200. 240 minus 200 is 40. We can keep dividing. We're going to annex another 0, bring it down. We're almost done. 200 goes into 400 2 times. 2 times 200 is 400. And 400 minus 400 is 0. So now the last thing, we bring up that decimal point, and again, same answer. So if you want to, you can try the ones next to it. We're just going to try a couple on the back, and then that'll be it. All right, let's go to the next page. We did one like this in class, similar to this. Alicia went back to the store because she went back to the store because she had made the blankets on page 21 as well. Alicia went back to the store and bought 54 and 57 hundredths yards of fabric. She needs 1 7/10 yards of fabric to make each blanket. How many blankets can she make with the fabric she bought? So again, the number that goes in the dividend end is the number we're dividing up. 54 and 57 hundredths is the amount of fabric that she starts with, and she's going to be dividing that up. So that goes in the dividend end. And we're going to divide by 1 7/10. Got to move that decimal one time. Answer stays the same, but now we're going to get a whole number as a divisor, which is what we want. And we're going to divide by 545 and 7/10. Let's see how this goes here. 17 goes into 5 0 times. 17 goes into 54, I believe, 3 times. Let me just double check. 7 times 3 is 21. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So yeah, 3 would work because 3 times 17 indeed is 51. 54 minus 51 is 3. Bring down the 5. 17 goes into 35 twice because 2 times 17 is 34. 35 minus 34 is 1. Bring down the 7. And 17 goes into 17 one time. 1 times 17 is 17. You subtract it, you get 0. You bring up the decimal point. How many blankets can she make? Well, 32 and 1/10 is our number we got, but our answer would be 32 blankets because 1/10 is not a blanket. That's really more of a napkin. So 32 blankets would be the answer. All right, the last one we're going to do on this page is about the ant, the adult ant. All right, here we go. An adult ant is typically 18 hundredths meters long, which would be about a centimeter or 2. An ant's head is 5 times smaller than its entire body. How big is an ant's head? All right, well, let's do it. So this is the going to be the dividend because this is the amount we're dividing up, we're going to divide this into 5 pieces. And an ant's body is going to be one of those smaller pieces. So this is the number we're dividing up. We're going to divide it by 5. And here's the thing. We don't have to move any decimal places because we already have a whole number here. So we're going to keep everything the same. We're going to divide as normal. 5 goes into 0, 0 times. 5 goes into 0, 0 times. 5 goes into 1, 0 times. 5 goes into 18, would be 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. 18 minus 15 is 3. Carry a 0. Annex a 0. Bring it down. 5 goes into 36 times. 6 times 5 is 30. And 30 minus 30 is 0. So our answer, we have to make sure to bring up the decimal point, of course. Our answer is going to be 36 10,000ths meters, which is about 1/3 of a centimeter. Very small, very small. That's an ant's head, so we're expecting it to be kind of small. So at this point, if you wanted to try the other two, this one's really tricky. So if you wanted to try that one's tricky. Be careful with that one. Or if you wanted to try this one about Gloria, you can. But at this point, if you haven't done so yet, make sure that you do the review packet. You can answer all the questions now. So it is 3 pages. It's 12 questions. There's 4 per page. So you can do 24 is addition, subtraction, and multiplication. 25 has some multiplication and division. And then the last page is division. And you can do all those now. So make sure you have that done by the next math class. If you have any questions about the review packet, let me know. But if not, I will see you soon. All right, have a great day.